What's good, everybody? We back on another Friday to talk some football with my guy Five Star. And last week, I believe we had a 2-1 week as far as picks on the show, so we profited, and we'll see if we can do it again here today. Five Star, always good to talk to you. How you doing today?
Hey, always good to see you, Skee. What up to the chat? You know what we're doing over here. Positive vibes and making money. It's us versus the machine. You guys hit that like button right now. We appreciate you joining.
100%, and it definitely helps out the show if you guys hit the like button for us. So we're gonna talk a little bit of college football, talk a little bit of NFL, and we'll start with. Well, you know what? Yeah, we'll start with this.
Okay.
There's one I want to talk to you about that I didn't say nothing to you about, but you
Okay.
should already know. We'll go with first Army and Notre Dame.
hmm
Opened up Notre Dame minus 17. They're down to minus 14. Total not really moving too much. Um, Market, I mean, people thinking Army can hang around in this one. I haven't watched Notre Dame, I don't think, since that first game that they played. And I'm pretty sure they blew that first game. Um, so tell me what you think, Notre Dame versus Army.
I like Notre Dame here. Marcus Freeman does a really good job defensively and especially against option teams. They shut down Navy. They shut down Georgia Tech, who they're not completely option anymore, but they do run a lot of option packages. What's up, Jose? How you doing, man? So at the end of the day, I think that it's just too much talent on one side. Notre Dame is a really talented team. Army has been playing good, and they haven't lost a game all season. But I think they haven't faced any competition like they're going to see on the side. What's up? What's up, top 20? How you doing, brother? They haven't seen the type of competition that they're going to face with this Notre Dame team. I really like how Riley Leonard has been playing of late. Army is third in the country in yards per carry, 6.2, but people don't understand that Notre Dame is as well, but has a really decent passing game as well. So Notre Dame is fourth, averaging 6 yards per carry. So they can run the ball as well. I think that Army's going to have a difficult time getting in the end zone in this game. It's going to be a night game in South Bend. They're going to be really, really hype out there. So I'll be on Notre Dame minus 14. I just like what I've seen from Notre Dame. They covered the last 6 straight games, and they covered all those games by a margin of 29 points.
Well, you got somebody with you in the chat. My guy Mark says, "Come on, guys, Notre Dame by 21 at least."
Yeah, I
So
think
you
so
guys are
too.
on the same page. Jose Perez also likes Notre Dame, so 5 star. Can still get it done by more than 2 touchdowns, and looks like we in agreement here on the show. The one game I want to talk to you about 5 star. It's a college game,
Okay.
and I don't have a banner for it actually because I wasn't expecting to talk about this game.
It's
But
okay.
Kentucky, and I'm going to my team, man.
Your
Kentucky,
Longhorns.
yeah, and Texas. This one opened up minus 19 and a half. Texas is now 20 and a half point favorite. Total hasn't moved. You had Kentucky last week look really good in the blowout, right? And you had Texas look like they was maybe struggling a little bit with Arkansas in that game. And I thought for those two reasons, everybody would come in here and bet Kentucky. And I just think, with Texas not playing their best offensive game last week, I think they come out here and really smash on them. I think they win this one by 3 touchdowns plus. Can you talk me off the Longhorns?
You already on the right one. Me and my group have already played the Longhorns. We played them at minus 19 and a half. I also gave it out this morning on ESPN 97.5 in Houston. Um, this is a smash spot for me. You did the perfect breakdown exactly. You got Kentucky coming in the game out playing some trash, feeling good about themselves, but they don't have the type of offense that's going to threaten this Longhorns defense. You got uh, Vandergriff, who transferred from Georgia. He was like the third or fourth string quarterback over there, and he's not that talented. They also got Gabe Winston that came over there from Rutgers. He's not that talented. Both these guys are guys that are pocket passes, but pocket passers, excuse me, but they're not accurate. So that's a major deal right there. Vandergriff has 8 touchdown passes, but he got 8 interceptions as well. So you can't bet on that, man. And the Longhorns should be really motivated this week bad performance at Arkansas. Even though they won, they didn't cover, and they looked horrible in the second half. I just had Texas first half on that game, so I was able to cash last week. But I think the Texas plays really well at home. They usually do. Besides the game against Georgia, they've been smashing at home. So you're on the right side with this one. We'll be on the Longhorns minus 20.5.
Love it, love it, love it. We talked last week. I was kind of feeling like Texas wouldn't cover that game versus Arkansas. They didn't cover, and then right
Yeah.
after that game, I'm remembering now. I think I told you I said I think they're gonna whoop some ass next week. So I'm glad
Yeah.
to hear that we on the same page in this one. Let's move over to some NFL.
Real quick though,
And
I know the chat probably is asking about that one, Skee, and I'm sorry I didn't text it to you. Ohio State and Indiana. I love
okay,
to get chat vibes on that one as well. I'm going to play Indiana, even though it's going to be public. Probably going to be more money publicly on Indiana just because of the amount of points. But I'm in a situation on that game where I think that I have the better coach and the better quarterback. Even though Ohio State is completely the better team, they have 14 5-star recruits over there, 0 5-star recruits for Indiana. But Indiana has a lot of grown men, guys who are older that transferred over from James Madison, and like Nathan Rourke, who they got from Ohio, played at Ohio. He's from Canada, but with being in Ohio, you always are overshadowed by Ohio State. So I'm sure this is a dream scenario for him as a guy who's married, has kids, played college football for 5 years now. And he's going against another guy who's been in college football forever, Will Howard. But Will Howard, in my opinion, isn't a better quarterback than Nathan Rourke. And I definitely think that Dave Signetti has these guys ready to play. And I think that his preparation will be really good for this game. So me personally, I'm going to be a huckleberry. I'm going to take the points with Indiana. A lot of people are saying that they're overrated, that they haven't played anyone, but I really like that offense, and I think that they could do some of the things that Oregon did to Ohio State.
so it's double digits, right? What was that
Yeah,
number?
it's 11. I got 11.5 when it dropped. It was started at 13.5. It fell to 11.5, and I got that. Now it's at 10.
Okay, so thinking the dog will be very competitive in that game. Good stuff on college. Now we'll move it on over to the pros, and we have a couple games that we're gonna touch on. First, 49ers and Packers. And I'm a little slow to my football work this week. Got a lot going on with, since I started capping college basketball and NBA at the same time, it take a lot of time, man. Um, but
Sorry,
49ers
my phone. My wife has my card, and every time she's doing Christmas shopping, and she in here going crazy. So I'm sorry. I keep looking down. It's another charge. It's another charge.
it's about that time, man. About that
Man.
time. Uh, Green Bay opened in this game -1.5 and went up to 3. The Niners remind me, the Niners lost last week, right?
Yes, the Niners lost last second loss against Seattle. Not Joey. Which one is that over there? One of the Bosa's, Nick Bosa, gets
Got you.
hurt. And then after that, no pressure from the 49ers. And Geno is able to take it back and turn back the clock to West Virginia and runs like a 30-yard touchdown on them in the game.
So Bosa still hurt bad then, right? He's not going to be playing in this game?
It's questionable if he's going to play or not.
Okay. So Bosa's banged up. If I'm not mistaken, Kittle is banged up. They did get McCaffrey back, but I'm not liking anything about this 49ers team right now. The Packers, I want to say, and I might be wrong, but they can still win the division, right? This should be a really big game for them. You like the Packers in this game?
Yeah, I love the Packers. That's one of my smash spots right there. I gave it out on ESPN 97.5 in Houston. Also gave it out on the Wagering World. I just think that this is a really good spot for the Packers. Jordan Love has already spoke about all week how motivated he is in this game. As you know, they should have beat the 49ers in the playoffs last year. They ended up blowing the game in the fourth quarter. And
For
now
other
they get a
reason.
chance to get them to come, to play at Lambeau. Lambeau is one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, and it's been a nightmare for the 49ers. They've lost 7 of 8 games there in the last 8 trips to Lambeau. Overall, Green Bay is 22-11 in the series. Just two franchises that really know each other, two coaches who really know each other. As you know, Shanahan and the head coach, Matt LaFleur for the Packers, grew up together as coaches at the Houston Texans at first, and then I think they went over to Atlanta together. And now They both have their own teams, and I think that LaFleur always gives his best to get Shanahan because he looks at him kind of like a big brother, and he always has something drawn up to give him some problems. Down year for the Niners, I took the under on their win total this year. I kind of saw this coming when the news came out about McCaffrey being injured. You know, I'm not a Brock Purdy guy. I've always talked about I thought he was overrated. He should never have been mentioned with top 10 quarterbacks, and anyone who does so just doesn't watch film and doesn't know football. He doesn't have a strong arm, can't make a lot of window throws. I know Casey over there somewhere probably in tears. I'm talking about Brock Purdy. But now that everything's on Brock Purdy, we're seeing everything that Cam Newton talked about that, he's not that guy. He's just a guy that's a part of the system. He's not the system. And I think that he's exposed a little bit more in Green Bay. Green Bay has some really aggressive defensive backs who turn teams over, and they still lead the league in interceptions. Going to be outdoors game. I think that the 49ers are going to mail it in this year. I don't think that they get to the playoffs. It's just a bad vibe in that locker room ever since IU wanted the contract, didn't show up, wanted to be traded, and they never traded him. There she go. You better bet
she pop up in
this
the
week,
chat.
KC. You better fade Brock Purdy this week, KC. We cheese heads this week. You see the color of the sum of the cap. We cheese heads this week, man.
She said, "Cute coaching, man. Purdy doing this thing. Nobody healthy to help him out."
Oh man, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. Jawan Jennings out there. Did Christian McCaffrey play last week? We don't want to hear that.
She said, "Skee, tell him I don't bet my teams. It's a healthy life."
You're smart. Oh, yeah, you're a real bettor, KC. You already know that's how I am. I don't bet the Saints games. I bet the Texans first half only. I don't bet their whole game.
The chat, man. I love the chat. But Love, I agree. The better quarterback here. I'm in agreement with you. I think they can get the job done here. So
Yeah.
they say Trent out, Bosa out, so it must be official now. No Bosa for this game.
Trent didn't practice, Bosa didn't practice, so they're all game time decisions. But regardless of what, Green Bay is just a better team, and Green Bay is in a division where they cannot afford to lose any home games the rest of the year because they got Minnesota one game ahead of them, and then they got the Bears. I mean, not the Bears. Pardon me. I'm thinking about the Bears and Minnesota game. The Lions have the best record in the whole NFL.
Oh man, hey, the chat, bro. I love the chat, man. They
going up.
My boy Dia, he started trying to throw some jabs. He says Glock turned into pew pew this week. Shit. And then she come back and say, Dia, your QB just got released. You better shut up in here.
Is he a Giants fan?
He's a Giants fan.
Since he's a Giants fan, this is what I wanted. Just real quick, since we just freestyle a little bit. Daniel Jones did some G shit. Like he made him like cut me, man. If I'm gonna be on the bench, just go to cut me so I can start looking for my next job. I wonder what's gonna happen with the money. I don't know. I don't know anything about that part of it. Like as far as if you're cut, I'm sure that some of the contract was guaranteed. Probably not all of it, but man, I know they get game checks. They get paid NBA, every game. They get game
NBA. Checks. If you get cut, you still get paid. But in NFL, I don't think it's that way.
I don't know, man, because game checks, you get paid. They get paid their whole. I'm friends with several NFL guys, and the NFL, how they do their contracts, they get game checks. Like they get paid each week by the game. So I don't know what they're gonna do about it. They give them like one payoff, one big lump to end it, or what? I'm gonna have to research that. But as a Giants fan, I don't know if you should be talking about old Brock Purdy.
All right, we'll go. We'll leave poor Dia and the Giants alone. We'll go over to.
At least he's solid, because it take a real fan to ride that out.
Look, he said this is the last thing he say. Here we go. All right, last game or next game up, we got a brother versus brother, right?
Yeah.
Jim versus John?
Yep, Jim versus John.
Jim versus John. This one opened up. It ain't really moved. I mean, open Ravens -3. It is a couple 2.5s popping up, but there are still 3s out there. And the total went from 48 to 51. Man, this Ravens team, this is how my first thought about this is we know the way you beat the Ravens. It's in my mind, it's the opposite of what the Chargers are good at. Like the Chargers want to run the ball. You're not running the ball too much on the Ravens, but that secondary can be had. And Herbert has started to play better. So do you think he can air it out enough to win or cover the 3 points here today
Yeah,
or
because I
Monday?
think that it's going to be a lot of money in that standalone on Monday night on Lamar, especially with them coming off a disappointing performance from the Steelers. You know, the public thinks a lot higher about Lamar than you and I do. You know, like when me
Yeah.
and you talk about Lamar, we talk a little different than they talk about him. But you know, the stats, you know, look good. He have these phenomenal games that only he could do, where he might throw freaking, you know, for 300 yards and run for 100, account for 5 touchdowns. That's all good and well, but when you're dealing with a team like the Chargers who are sound on defense, you got to watch that. Remember, the Chargers had a slugfest early in the year against the Steelers. Also, don't forget about the fact that you got two brothers who are really familiar with each other in the way that each other coaches. Jim is the better coach, even though John beat him in the Super Bowl. A lot of people don't pay attention to the fact that the entire Lamar Jackson offense began with Greg Roman. Greg Roman was given to John Harbaugh by Jim Harbaugh because he had him at the 49ers first
Mm.
running Kaepernick packages, because that was the first time we saw a team really use that type of dual threat quarterback play on every down. Now the Ravens have kind of mastered it, but I gotta believe that Jim Harbaugh is real familiar with that, and Greg Roman, who's the OC over there, with how to stop what Baltimore will be doing, man. So I'm playing the Chargers, me, man. You know me, I'm be contrarian on these standalones. I'm not messing with the public. I'm going with the Chargers on this one +3.
You know, I'm a Charger fan, so I'm tiptoeing around this game, but I think they can win.
They might, and the over is also something to look at. Skee, when have you seen a total at 51 for a Chargers game?
Yeah, that's very true.
Because
I
they're
like
saying Thad McConkey and those receivers for the Chargers are going to eat on the Ravens defensive backs. A good one.
okay.
I like that one too. Yeah, I like that one. Thad McConkey over 55 yards.
Yeah, that it sounds good, and I agree. I think the total could be moving up for a reason. I say, what do you think about this? Couple things. Maybe a first half Chargers, because a lot, I live this Charger life, man. For
Yeah,
whatever reason, if they up, I don't know what they do at halftime, bro. They just call a completely different game in the second half. Is
yeah.
there any way you could talk me off getting in and out in the first half?
You know that's my style. You know that's what I do. You know, by the end of the game, I'm just looking like a fan having a great time. My money's already made at halftime, so you're probably right on point. The Chargers have been coming out really with solid execution early, and another thing to watch for is Lamar does tend to start kind of slow too. So I like that. I do definitely would like the Chargers. Matter of fact, let's make that the official play. Me and Skee going first half Chargers on this game.
All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. Top 20 says the last game between these teams was November 26, 2023. Ravens won 2010 on the road over the Chargers. Completely different Chargers team and coach right now. So we'll see. Um, which one is the older brother? Mark says go with the older brother.
That's John.
Okay.
John is halfway out the door at Baltimore. He about to lose his job. He's not gonna be the coach next year. Bill Belichick will be coaching the Ravens.
All right, we got a. I don't think I have any other games I want to talk about. I think we did a good job, and it leaves me enough time to clip this up before I got to bounce over to another one. So
Okay.
we'll before we move over to best bets, we got a question in the chat from your
Okay.
girl.
Okay.
Shit, what quarterback does 5-star like? Shit, let's put you under the center at this point. Bench everybody. Who do you like? Who's
Ah,
your quarterbacks?
if it was 20 years ago, I would be under center, baby. But right now, I'm making money off of being able to tell you who can't play under center, and who can't is Brock Purdy. That's who can't. He can't. Aaron Rodgers can't play. So we
Is
know
your
we
favorite?
Daniel
Is,
Jones can't play. So my
who's your
favorite
favorite?
quarterback
Is it
this
15?
year. My favorite quarterback in the league is let's see, favorite quarterback in the league. The one that I respect the most, who I think is at the best at his job, is Patrick Mahomes. Like, who, you're crazy if you don't think he isn't. because he does everything. You got certain traits in all these different quarterbacks. Josh Allen, he's big and strong. Mahomes is big and strong. Lamar, he can throw and run. Mahomes can throw and run. Uh, Jordan Love is a great passer, can make every throw. Mahomes can make every throw. So it's really no comparison. He's just having a year where he's being a company man. Probably enjoyed the off season with his wife, and they probably went and balled out. So that's why he's throwing out his interceptions. But when it's clutch time and it's ready to go in the playoffs, we gonna always bet Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the league. Right after him, there's several guys that you could go with.
Come
Josh
on, man.
Allen's good.
You know who's balling right now. Yeah.
Josh Allen good. He inconsistent. I'm the first dude who was talking about Josh Allen, man. You could go follow, go look where the page is closed now. But I tweeted about Josh Allen when he was in Wyoming, was a sophomore. So I'm pretty good at quarterback, KC. I'm pretty good at I used to coach quarterbacks for a living.
She said, once it ain't hurt, you good in my book. So she said it's all good.
Okay, but Jalen Hurts is from the Houston area, from Channelview. Shout out to him and his dad. Jalen Hurts is a good player. He's everything you want in a young man. He's the type of guy that you would want your daughter to marry, KC.
So last but not least, I gotta ask you a question now. This is for me, because my guy is getting a lot of slack before we get out of here.
Okay.
DJ Stroud, what are your thoughts on him as a quarterback now, seeing him for the
He's
second year?
He's top 10. What do you mean? He still is third in the league in passing yards. It's just one of those years. Um he's not having a good season, not because of his own doing. He's missing some throws that he usually doesn't miss because he has happy feet, because he has no protection on the interior line. You try to drop back and have 300-pound guys come untouched at you over and over and over and over and over and over, and see how well you throw it. See how if you can stick that pocket and throw some dimes in. So he has happy feet because it's a terrible offensive line. They need to go get a brand new offensive line coach for the Texans. Bad. And I hope Bobby Slover goes and takes a head coaching job. I hope someone's dumb enough to hire him, because he will not get out of the principles of the West Coast. When you first were introduced to C.J. Stroud, Skee, he's from Cali like you, so you probably heard about him in high school because he played for the Snoop League and all that. I've been following CJ a long time. When he got to Ohio State, I already knew about him. The thing that makes CJ who he is his accuracy. Everyone said I comped him to Warren Moon. He's uncanny with his ability to throw a perfect spiral and a very catchable ball anywhere, all over the field. He expands the field. He can touch every corner of the field with his arm and effortlessly. Now he's playing where he's under center, turning his back to the defense and having to come back up and throw over and over and over. And that limits his skills. CJ will be best in the spread offense because, one, their offensive line cannot hold up. And the reason that the spread offense was created in Texas high school football was simply because a lot of these teams weren't talented enough to block the other teams that had much more better players. Ohio State, he ran the spread offense. In high school, he ran the spread offense. Why won't Bobby Slover go back to what he's familiar with and make life easy for him? Go to the line. He can see everything spread out. He's in the shotgun. He can see where he has the mismatch. If the box is light, he can run the ball to Joe Mixon. So really, their OC is working against him by trying to be too smart. Hey, I'm so smart. He's trying to do the I'm so smart right now. So that's why CJ is struggling. But you don't have to worry about CJ. CJ is going to be one of the all-time great quarterbacks in this league.
I love it. I'm a big CJ fan, so love to hear that. All right. It's about that time. We move it on over to best bets. And I'll ask you, you feel free to promote anything you would like to promote. And if you do have a best bet, or if you would like to just do a recap, however you want to do it, you know how we close out the show.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, go to thewagingworld.com. It will be up and operable where you can order any of the merchandise like Live from Summerlin, it's Us versus the Machine, hoodies and shirts, things like that. They'll all be up right in time for Christmas, so be on the lookout for thewagingworld.com. I'll make sure to tweet out the link, and I'll also send it to Skee, and I'll talk about it again the next time. I don't know if we'll be in the next week because it's Thanksgiving, but the following week or whenever we do the show again, it should be completed. The site will be up. Everything's moving fine on that, and I look forward to being able to provide merch for you guys, and for you guys to be able to buy picks from me a lot easier than having to try to get in with the Supreme clientele, because I'm real picky on that. But I'll have a pickup that I'm selling every day. that I'm about to start doing on the website. So look for that. Always subscribe to the Wagering World. Please, we're on YouTube. We're on every outlet that you can name. But if you can, please subscribe to the YouTube version. We'd really appreciate that. My best plays are going to be all of them, man. I like the Packers -3. I also like Notre Dame -14. And then, like I told you, I do like the Chargers +3 and that standalone on Monday night. I like the Texas Longhorns -20.5 for sure. And just a bonus to throw in there. I know this is a football show, but I've already played Arizona college basketball tonight against Duke. I think the Duke is too young, Skee. I think they're really talented, but they're too young for guys like Caleb Love. Caleb Love has been in school since we were in high school, right? So he's been playing at Arizona a long time. Before that at North Carolina, I think he's gonna ball out on them young boys tonight and show up and shine. And also Arizona, Tommy Lloyd tends to always get a lot of transfer guys from overseas. A lot of guys who played a lot of basketball over in Europe that he brings. So they're an older team, man, going against some kids. Duke, as I said, is really talented, but they're not old enough. So give me Arizona college basketball tonight, you guys. That's a free play as well.
Hey, sprinkle in some college basketball at the end. I love it. For myself, my best bet for the show, I'm going with the Longhorns, man. They're not going to look like they did last week against Arkansas. They're going to beat the shit out of Kentucky in that game. 3 touchdowns is easy for the Longhorns this week. So that'll be my best bet for the show. Appreciate you, 5-star, for taking the time to come break these games down, talk some football with us. Yeah, next week, it's family time. It's all good. So I'll get back with you the week after.
Week. Yeah, let's do the following week.
But you know where I'll be at later. So if you come down,
I'm pulling up.
with
Stop
your boy.
it. Hey, West Side till I die.
you know.
Yeah, I'm at you, man. I'm at you. I appreciate you guys. Y'all hit that like button. You guys continue to, put out these positive vibes. We're gonna continue to win. It's not a lot of shows that you can come get free plays every week and win. You guys know we haven't had a losing week since we've had this show, so that's pretty good. Now that we're on week 13 of college football and week 12 of the NFL.
Love it. So y'all in the chat, we appreciate y'all. Best of luck on all your action, and we'll catch y'all again later.